check up the nature of company. Before going for the details, let us check up what is a company. A company, as per section 2, subsection 20, means a company incorporated under the Companies Act 2013 or under any previous company law. Next, the applicability of the Companies Act 2013. The provisions of this Act shall apply to companies incorporated under this Act or under any previous company law. And this also applies to other companies except where the provisions of the said acts are inconsistent with the provisions of that particular act. Take for instance, this act applies to insurance companies, banking companies, companies engaged in the generation or supply of electricity, any other company governed by any special act for the time being in force, and such other body corporates which are incorporated by any act for the time being in force as the central government may by notification specify in this behalf. Now, let us check out what are the various characteristic features of a company. First one, voluntary association. That is, a company is a voluntary association of persons. Here, the term person includes both natural and any legal person, and that association must be voluntary. There should not be any compulsion. But here the purpose may be profit making or even non-profit making. Second aspect, separate legal entity. A company in law regarded as an entity separate from its members. That is, it has an independent corporate existence. Therefore, it is legally separate from the members. Even though the owners of the company are the members, they are different from the company. Therefore, such concept is called separate legal entity. Next one, perpetual succession. A company being a legal person and its life does not depend upon the life of its members. That is, all the members may die or become incapable, but the existence of company will be continuing because company is an artificial person. It is formed legally and at the same time it will die legally. Until such process is completed, there won't be any putting an end to the company. Therefore, the death or insolvency of an individual member or all the members in any way affect the corporate existence of the company. Next, limited liability. A company may be either limited by shares or by guarantee, and anyhow we are going to discuss about it in your advanced classes. It is a company limited by shares, then the liability of the members is limited to the extent of money remaining unpaid on the shares held by them. At the same time, if the company is limited by guarantee, then the liability of the members is limited to such an amount as the members may decide to contribute, then that's too in the event of its winding up only. Next one, an artificial judicial person. Therefore, the company can act even though through human agencies, it is different from the owners and the management. Therefore, being a separate legal entity, company can contract, company can sue, and company can be sued in its own name. And one more peculiar feature is transferability. This provides the liquidity to the investor and stability to the company. Shares or interest of the member in a company is freely transferable except to the extent of restrictions prescribed in the articles of private company. Let us consider one important aspect. A company, even though it is a legal person, but it is not a citizen either under the Constitution of India or Citizenship Act 1955. But however, a company has both nationality and residence. A company resides where the central control and management of its business is exercised. Thus, a joint stock company resides where its place of incorporation is, where the meetings of the company are those who represent it are held, and where its governing body exercising the powers conferred upon it by the statute and by the article. Now, let us check out one more important concept, that is corporate veil theory. Let us check out what is corporate veil. Corporate veil refers to a legal concept whereby the company is identified separately from the members of the company. As we have seen earlier, due to the concept of separate legal entity, company is different from the owners and its management. Thus, the shareholders are there protected from the acts of the company, even though the owners of the company are the shareholders, they have limited liability and different from the company. Even though company is different from the shareholders or the owners and the management, in case of dishonest and fraudulent use of the facility of incorporation, the law will lift the corporate veil and identify the person, that is, the members who are behind the curtain, and make them responsible for the fraud and improper conduct. Due to this concept, the people who are running the company may not be having a protection. Therefore, if there is a suspicion of any of the following matters, the concept of corporate veil will be lifted. Here, remember one aspect. Only in the case of suspect only the corporate wheel will be lifted. Until then, we have to assume there is a corporate wheel. Now, let us consider what are the cases where there will be a chance of lifting of corporate wheel. Let us check up one by one. First case may be for determination of the character, that is to find out whether the company is an enemy or a friend. A company may assume an enemy character when the persons who are controlling the affairs are residents of an enemy country. In such a case, the court may, at its discretion, examine the character of the persons in real control of the company in respect of corporate and declare the company to be an alien company. Second case of lifting the corporate wheel, that is to protect the revenue or the tax. In certain cases, the law of the taxes, duties and stamps, particularly where the question of controlling interest is an issue. Let us check up the cases where a corporate entity is used to evade or circumvent tax. The court can discard the corporate entity. And second one is to avoid a legal obligation, where it was found that the sole purpose for the promotion of the company was to use it as a device to reduce the amount to be paid by way of bonus to the workmen or otherwise. Next case for lifting the corporate wheel is formation of subsidiaries to act as agents. A company may sometimes be regarded as an agent or trustee of its members or of another company, and therefore may be deemed to have lost its individuality in favor of its principal. Hence, the principal will be held liable for the acts of that company. Next case for lifting the corporate wheel is company would have been formed for fraud or improper conduct or to defeat the law, where the purpose of incorporation is adopted for some illegal or improper purpose. Take for instance, to defeat or circumvent law or to defraud the creditors or to avoid legal obligations, the corporate will be lifted. The following are the cases. Take for instance, one of the case is trading with enemy. Second one, where the corporate entity is used to evade or circumvent tax. Third one is where the companies form other companies as their subsidiaries to act as their agents, that is, they are acting as siphon companies. And fourth one may be to avoid legal obligation. And finally, where the device of incorporation is adopted for some illegal or improper purpose.